So anyway, I figured I would be talking about tonight the use of crystals and gemstones in your practice. Let me just. How come I don't have a shot? I'm gonna do one more. This thing loads forever. There we go. Okay, so enough of that. So, to start, sometime in the mail, randomly, I should be hopefully getting Kendra's book entitled Gemstones of the Adversary. I'm so excited to get it, but primarily, the thing with crystals and gemstones, they technically are neutral, if that makes sense. Meaning, they can be used however you intend them to be. They're not solely meant for good, if that makes sense. It all depends on you, what kind of stone it is, and the intention you have, and how much you're putting in to empower it. Of all the stones, the best one, in my opinion, easily, is your simple clear quartz. Why? Why is the most common stone the best one? Yeah, because clear quartz is the most common stone on Earth. Why is it the best one? Simply put, clear quartz can do anything you tell it to, because it's a blank canvas. Canvas. These never knows it. It's blank. And since clear or white quartz, since it's pretty much able to only know how to intake something, it'll just take on whatever you give it. But if you don't give it an intention, funny enough, when in doubt, if it doesn't know what to do, by default, it'll just amplify. By default. I'm sure some clear quartz I've had for a while. There's one. The big honker one. This one might be a different kind of clear quartz, I'm not entirely sure, because the way that it's shaped. The top, that point, different. Another one. And again, just because clear quartz is very common and simple and very beginner friendly, does not mean it's not potent. Don't think that simple means don't think simple means easy, weak, or anything like that. Don't think like that. You're limiting yourself, and we don't want you to do that. And here is actually a heart-shaped one, and I've had for a long time. Now, depending on what kind of stone you use, well, kind of give an idea. Actually, better way of putting it. Depending on what your intention is, should also help go along with the kind of crystal it is, like a spodumene, quartz. What's that called? I just had it and I lost it. Is it kind of like a morganite is? Aquamarine? I can't even pronounce it. But the idea that I'm getting at is that not all types of stones, like for example, this is a kunzite, and my pretty much fandom stone. Kunzite is going to be behaving and acting differently compared to your simplistic, basic rose quartz. Kunzite's going to behave much differently because of the type of stone it is. And a piece of selenite is going to be behaving far more different than, say, a shadow quartz or a smoky quartz. Selenite's going to be behaving much differently. And there's also shaped stones like this. This one's actually a wand. And even though this one's what's that word called? It's not tumbled, but it's like smoothened. I'm just gonna go with tumbled. Since it's tumbled, it doesn't really have like the pure energy compared to this selenite bead stick of mine. This one is a bit raw. And the thing with selenite though, if you're not careful with it, the shards of it, it can go off and just start jabbing into your skin, and it's not pleasant. But this kind of selenite, right out of the earth, raw, and kind of, just having the sharp parts removed, this thing packs a punch compared to this one. I mean, they both do what they need to do. It's just that, oh god, this sounds so bad. I don't care though. It's better to have it raw. Just had to say that. Better raw than stop it. Anyway. So now, the amount of ways that you can actually use these stones is, there's so many ways. But not all of the stones can be used the same way. For example, if you can put, I just have a lot in front of me. If you can put a piece of clear quartz in water, which you can, don't assume that, okay, I can put this in water, so now I'm going to just put something like angelite in water. You put angelite in water, it's going to disintegrate. Same thing with selenite. You put it in water, get it wet, it'll start losing its shimmer, like that, and it'll just dissipate. But keep in mind though, selenite, Sodalite, S-C-O-L-I-T-E, satin spar, I think, what it's also called. They're very similar to one another, but their energy is different, and as well as I can only say like the way they behave. Oh, here, Rusty. Let me show you how many I have. Let me just show you the mosh pit I have down here. Yeah, that's quite a lot. And I'm going to be going through pretty much a good majority of them and trying to explain how to actually use them. We have quite a bit. And there are some crystals, such as, this is one of my favorite pieces that was given to me. This is a piece of Shungite. Shungite is found only in Russia, in one village. Shungite is a stone that pretty much, if you have water that's polluted, literally, drop it in the water. Give it some time, the water will be crystal clear. By just one piece of this Shungite, literally. Shungite's a stone that pretty much filters. It pulls in negativity and then it He's kind of like one of them bottom feeder fishes. Does that make sense? Yeah, this is like the crystal bottom eater. What? That's a weird comparison, but alright, we'll go with it. Where'd my Pepsi go? Damn you, Brown's taking my stuff again. Yeah, but I also had to tell some of these politicians that, hey, you kind of ain't using your head, but that's none of my business. And let's see. I think probably the next thing I'm going to go into is actually how to actually like charge and activate and actually put these little guys to use, because I think that's the most, probably the biggest question out of them all. So I think we'll keep it simple and we'll start with like, why is my computer throwing a hissy fit? Because the screen just went black, like, oh boy, not again. Oh well, I'm used to it. So anyway. Let's say you have, screw it. Come here. You have a clear quartz, okay. So there are many ways that you can actually give this thing an attention, but like always, every time, you don't know where this crystal's been. You don't know what's been done to it. You don't know if someone thought it'd be cute to actually make like a crystal, stick in the spot, which people are doing nowadays, and this is making me just go, really? Do you really think shoving a rose quartz up there is really gonna, give you some love in that area? No, it won't. I am dead serious. I'm not kidding. If you look it up yourself, you'll be like, I'm kind of hoping to Lord Lanta that, I mean, they made the male, the male kind. I mean, heck, it is what it is, but still, if they made like the one shaped like the male part, I'm thinking like, oh, you're gonna make one for the female part too? And besides, here's the funny part. That one actually has like the sharp points in it. No. Anyway, you would want to cleanse it first. There are so many ways you can cleanse these little stones. But again, you got to keep in mind, and not all stones, like quartz, not all of them can handle water, like steam mist or diffuser mist or diffuser mist. Some are very fragile, some are very tough, like a blue sapphire. Blue sapphire is a tough stone. It's also a ruby, even though that's technically a red sapphire. Starting off right off the bat, selenite is not one of them stones you need to cleanse, in my opinion, all the time, because selenite is a stone that is just so pure and it's just so in tune with itself that it's just always pure. But now, you can use selenite to simply, where the heck did it go now? Okay, stop messing with my stuff, brownies. Little nasties. So, a munchkin? I think I said it right. So one of the most simplistic ways to actually cleanse a stone is simply having it in the receptive, or if you want to have it either way, it doesn't matter. Have it, you're, in this case, like I'm going to hold it like this. Pretty much all you can do is just like, imagine if this is like a little potato. And just completely shave off the BS. I know that's a weird way of putting it. You can just do it like that. Shave off the BS. That's one way. Another way you can do it is if you have a thing of water, preferably spring water, and then just tell, you know, the little thing of water that you have to cleanse it. Then as soon as you take it out, it'll be cleansed and pure. That way. If you want to cleanse it by fire, okay. You don't put it like in it. You go like through the candle flame. I don't have a candle lit right now, but still, you go 1, 2, 3. That would be more like best used for like your red jade. Okay, where are these? There. Rhodochrosite. One of my personal favorites, and a little bit of a playful stone. Tectopite's another one, as well as. Okay, there it is. Carnelian is another one. All right, bubs. Okay, where is... I just had hematite heart now. You know, Brian, I actually think I'll use that one instead. Or a piece of thulite. This is... Let's just say thulite is one of those stones that's like asking you if it's reminding you, did they mention it's mating season? Yeah. This is a piece of orange calcite. Calcite's very delicate. Black tourmaline. But primarily your stones like carnelian, thulite, that I just showed you on the ring, rhodochrosite, carnelian, sunstone. Those are the ones you would probably want to use fire with. Stones that are for air. Now that's primarily stones that can't handle the wetness. That'd be like your celestite. I'd even say lapis lazuli is another one. Really, that's all you gotta do. You blow it. Maybe just blow it off, blow the BS off of it. That's an angelite. But of course, you know, when you're blowing it, you have to actually visualize all the BS just flying off. Where'd it go? Yep, that is a real lapis right there. And compared to the angelite, like it's, oh, look at that, it's like baby blue, but yeah. Put this in water, it's gonna cry itself away. There's a piece of sodalite. Amethyst. Here's a raw piece, even though it looks like it's tumbled, it's not. It's pretty sharp on all edges. Here is a piece of, wait for it, turquoise. That is a turquoise. Untitled. Untitled jasper to be technical. Green adventuring. Green adventuring. One there, one there. Now this one is known as snow quartz or milky quartz. You're probably thinking, but isn't that clear quartz? You may think it is, but it's not. Just because it looks like it doesn't mean it behaves like it. Oh, here's a hematite heart, and a friend of mine gave me it, and I mean, good Lord Atlanta. That thing is heavy. Yeah, like, yeah, if you got hit by that, ooh. And for gigglies, here's a real blue sapphire. Get a grip on it. It's also one of the most potent grounding stones ever, hematite. There is a blue sapphire. probably thinking, how come it's not really shiny and glistening? Well, that's just, you know, a fancy way of actually polishing it and be like, oh, look at this, it's pretty. Well, okay, but it's legit though. Here's a Morganite. Probably thinking, isn't that like rose quartz? Oh, all that. Here's a rose quartz. Here is Morganite. Probably might not be able to tell. Do you see the color difference? Here, this will help. But also blind me at the same time. Anyway. You see the pink difference? This one's a little bit more pinky. This one's a little bit, this one's more peachy. Okay? Peachy, pinky. And when it comes to actually lovestone potency, this one, yep, I have another one here. Where's this little twat? Where'd it go? You know, brownies, if you're gonna, you know, of all the things for you to take, could you take my depression away? That'd be better, but instead of taking my stones. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, here, let me turn this down so I can kind of see. Vampirism, okay, what kind of vampirism? There's the stereotypical vampirism on taking energy away in a, like you're taking positive energy away from someone, or you can do it the reverse effect, taking negative energy from somebody. But then again, if you're going to be doing that, you have to know how to transmute. And my experience, yeah, you need to know how to transmute if you're going to be taking negative energy. And in all honesty, it's just a skill. I know how to do it. I know how to use it. It is what it is. It's just a skill. But however you choose to use it, that's your choice. But no matter, stop it. Instead of trying, you know, knocking on the wall again. But the thing is, whatever you choose to use and do, whatever happens after you're finished, the aftermath and the things that follow, you're the one at fault. Be it good or bad. Like say if you took energy from someone and then the next day they died, you are at fault. Or if you took energy off of someone and now they're a millionaire, you're still at fault. Because you made the choice to do means of a cult, and a cult is random as heck. It's unpredictable. You may get what you want, or you may end up having a walrus just come up to you and just slap you in the face and walk away. Of course, that's a bit of an extreme, but still. That's how unpredictable occult science is and all that. This is a blue topaz. Sit still. That is a blue topaz. And funny enough, blue topaz it feels like water, but it's not wet. But it feels like, you know, like when you touch the surface of the water? Yeah, it's like, that's the whole stone. Especially the noise they make. So, blue topaz. Another one of my favorite ones. So, another way you can actually cleanse one of these little things is to simply take your piece, doesn't matter what kind it is, put it in the hand you don't write with. In this case, it'd be my left, because I'm not right. I'm not always right, but in this case, I'm right. Punny, I know, but still. Put it in your receptive hand, and if it's pointed like this, or if you have any means to show, like this is the top, and this is the bottom of it, you take it facing inward like this. Like the top of the point goes facing towards you. And then what you have is you take the middle finger And now you're having this go push into your hand like that. And then you just grasp it on like this. And then what you do, you have it like this, and kind of speaking of kind of like in a more of a medical, realistic, practical way. When you're having your middle finger pushing it into your hand, it's going right into here, which then goes like this. But what's going to happen is we're going to go from here, push it through, go into the heart, and it's going to come out onto the other side, and then we're just going to push out whatever's in it. Like so. Yeah. That's how you're, that's, and I don't know if you can tell, but the stone looks a bit clearer. Actually, much clearer. I'll do it again, but I'm going to take these off so that way they don't go flying. Let's just go with this one. Okay. I had before. Looks a bit more clearer. That's kind of the more quick, but also you have to know how to transmute. And you do that internally in your mind. But now say if you actually want to imbue it with an intention. Okay. You don't really need to have your left hand with anything for this one. Because primarily you're going to be having it now go the reverse. So in your dominant hand, the one you're right with, again, except this way, it's not going to be pointing into you, it's going to be pointing the other way, like this. Same as before. Except now, instead of you going and pushing something out, you're actually going to be gripping it. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but it may look a little bit darker. Do it one more time. Okay. It's darker. It's darker. It wasn't that dark before. Before it was crystal clear. Now it's a bit darker. And the reason why it's darker is because, well, here's how I'm going about it. With the mind, I'm having the intention be said, and with it being in the mind, it goes down to the heart, to the right hand, up the arm, up to here, into the bottom of the crystal, and it goes all the way to the top. And since the middle finger is pushing down on it, this is connected to the finger, so it's pretty much surrounding the crystal with the intention. So no matter which way it goes, it's going to be getting the intention on both sides, imbuing it. Do it one more time. Okay, you see how it's a bit darker? Okay, might get a bit darker. And the intention is actually for protection, so. It's looking a little bit more foggy in it. It wasn't that foggy before. It's clear. Again. it's clear. And there you have it. That is how powerful the mind can be when you really focus. But like I said, selenite, you don't need to worry about cleansing it. Every other stone I would suggest it, like the rose quartz. Now you're thinking, but how are you going to do that one? It doesn't have the point. It's going to be a little hard doing it like this. Yeah, that's why you just improvise it. That X wasn't on it before. Oh, it got a bit more of a shimmer. But hey, which this is not technically a science, but that's none of my business. But yeah, usually when you have your stone all cleansed and ready to go, like I said in the beginning, the best stone to have always is your clear quartz, because it can do whatever you tell it to. But if you don't tell it to do anything, by default, it'll just uplift everything. Another way you can actually give your stone an intent, again, you can blow it. But in all seriousness, don't put it in your mouth, because some, and a good majority of them, are not safe to ingest. Don't even eat them either. Like a piece of angelite. In order for you to really, cleanse it, you can do it the same way. Score. Okay, we'll do will. Well, it got a little bit brighter. It wasn't that bright before. Anyway. So for an angelite, you can just do it the same way that I did before. But since you know this is a tumbled piece, you're probably thinking, how's that going to work? Simple. Yeah, I got a little bit darker. So, and no, whenever you put an intention on the stone, it doesn't get darker. No, it doesn't. Not all of them do that. Because that's like saying, like, well, this smoky quartz or shadow quartz, well, that's going to get darker. Hold that thought real quick. Stones like this, a smoky quartz, shadow quartz, or anything like this, you may want to cleanse them a lot. Tiny piece. It got darker instead of clearer. And do it again. It was not that dark before. If I can do it, you can do it. But now there are some stones like this one, kunzite, that funny enough, this one actually is pretty easy to actually hold on for like meditation purposes, like this. Because you see, this is the bottom of it, here's the top of it. When you have the top of the stone going down into your hand like this, if you're not taking it in, like bringing it in to cleanse it, like say, because this one I've already charged many moons ago, well, not many moons ago, a while ago. is already ready to go. So say if I wanted to do like a meditation of like some kind of intention related to kunzite, but kunzite is the most potent love stone known to man. The most potent. And for gigglies, unhanded. There's another piece. Here's another piece. Another one. There's one more. Ah, and another one. Yeah. You can most definitely assume that, wow, you have quite the addiction for kunzite. Wow. It is the most potent love stone. So yeah, it even outdoes rose quartz. That says something. As rose quartz is a bit too basic. Shoot me, I dare you. Go ahead. And kunzite's much more gentle, believe it or not. Hmm? Now scooching over to using it for like jewelry and stuff like this. So this piece is essentially this. Get right down the middle. Okay. So this piece right here is a Swarovski crystal, and it's man-made. So, the ones right here, that is clear quartz. This is opalite, which technically, yes, it is a man-made stone. It does have qualities of opal, but not as potent as regular opal. Then we have, this is where it gets really crazy. Okie dokie, so we have moonstone here. Regular, actually, no, wait. Yeah, that's moonstone. More moonstone. Essentially from the bottom all the way up to here. All of that is moonstone. Clear quartz again. This is clear. And then at the top we have aquamarine. And then this one is moonstone at the bottom, aquamarine, clear quartz, and at the very tush of it, right here with the blue, that is blue jade. And actually, aquamarine is actually related to Atlantis, I believe. One of them stones. Anything that's related to like the merfolk, yep, aquamarine. This one, well, again, this one kind of goes with the set. Moonstone, we have, well, moonstone again, and then we have selenite. Took me a second there. Clear quartz, selenite, all the way up to the top until we get to more selenite and clear quartz. Nope, never mind, that was a joke, that was moonstone. That's one set. I'm not going to share all of the sets, but I will share probably one of my most personal favorites. Not that one. Okay, milkshake. Bloody little browns, you're killing me, dude. Love you guys to death, but you gotta stop messing with stuff. Oh, that'll work. Essentially, sorry with the bracelets. Well, almost did a backflip there. So we have, of course, the big pink balls, rose quartz. Then right down there we have regular clear quartz. Then we flip it over, and then we have hematite. Then we have, they go morganite, kunzite, up until the other side. That's one of them. The other one is this. Smoky Quartz, Onyx, Kunzite, Tourmaline, repeatedly up until about to the top, which is regular clear quartz. And now the big one. Legit big one. Okie doke. Yeah. Now this one. Ready for this one? This one's Phenokite. Onyx. Swarovski clear quartz, but technically it's a man-made stone, so it's just there for the look. Then Onyx again. 2 Kunzite, Morganite, Kunzite, Morganite, Kunzite, Morganite, Kunzite, Onyx, hard again, Onyx, Moonstone. Wait, that's clear quartz. Never mind. That was a prank. Onyx, the clear quartz hearts again, and then the Onyx at the top. The Phenokite though, the one that's in this tube. Literally, the day that I got it from a friend of mine, Adam, the minute that I got this in the mail, I simply touched the package holding it. Like legit. Whoa. But then again, I'm very sensitive to stones like this. Yeah, I mean, I just felt the shift. That's a good thing, but also a bad thing about being sensitive to these things. And here's a piece of jade as the centerpiece, but also in the back. Then we have Amazonite, green aventurine, Rio again, and the little green one right there, and on the other side, that one's jade. Then we have the very sassy malachite, green jade, jade again, green tiger's eye, or known as snake eye, all the way up to the tippy top to green aventurine again, and then we have a very gentle mint jade, and then amazonite, and then 2 jades at the top. And if you... That was rude. If you were watching that day when I was talking about on St. Pep, I felt something just tickle my knee and I just slapped it. Not cool, dude. Don't rub my kneecap. But if you were watching when I was talking about on St. Patrick's Day, yeah, this was the piece I was wearing around my neck. Fine, I'll share one more. Now this one. This one is my shiny piece. That is a sit still. Hopefully this thing will... Come on, milkshake, sit still. This, it would be so kind of focus. Now if it'll sit still. That is a legit sapphire in gold, and well, if it'll focus, for goodness sakes, and around it are diamonds, legit. They're not that big in terms of carat and weight, but they're legit diamond. Will that help? Oh yeah, that helps it a little bit. Yeah, that's my shiny piece. Well, I used to have, naturally funny enough, that sapphire my mother gave me. I used to have 2 rubies, a lot. I just had and I lost them. A heart cut diamond, pink diamond. That was legit. Smaller, not too big other diamonds, but they were in that, like the small little sack, the small little baggie. And of all the things for me to do, I decided it might be a great idea. Oh, why don't I just give him to my other half? Okay, well, he lost them. But when it comes to actually wearing your gemstones, you really shouldn't go by the birthstones. You instead should go by your Lugna or your ascendant. Since you have a Capricorn ascendant, but then again, you have to have a lot of you have to really consult. Oh, it's over there. You have to consult an astrologer before you decide to go anywhere near something like blue sapphire. Same ascendant as mine. In Vedic, I'm a Capricorn rising. Western, I'm Aquarius, but still. When you're getting your gemstones, though, it's recommended that you get an astrologer that specializes in prescribing gemstones for remedial measures. Hold on, my blue sapphire decided to try and run away. Here. Because for me, blue sapphire is pretty much my life stone. So pretty much whenever I have sapphire, I'm golden. And then again at the same time. These two rings, I have worn them since, how long have I had these on? Pretty much since the ending of 2019. Yeah, since 2019, the end of it, I've had these on. The only time I've taken them off was to clean them. Hey, Ricky. And yes, sapphire is very beautiful. But at the same time, being Saturn stone, you have to be really calculated and careful with it. Because if you do one wrong thing with the sapphire, it'll mess you up. I'm dead serious. And not everybody can wear a blue sapphire. Not everybody can. That's why I always suggest to actually speak to a more experienced astrologer, especially when they're doing remedial procedures by prescribing gemstones for that. Because, especially, I have to say it because it's just how it is. The thing with blue sapphire, if it's just off by 1 carat, according to the system, 1 carat, it'll mess you up. That's how careful you got to be. But this piece, I didn't get it for remedy procedures. Blackstone. Okay, so silver. Well, I'm not sure. Would that be Onyx? Or I would have to see a picture of it. Because this is what black tourmaline looks like. Black tourmaline's a pretty feisty one. That's a shadow quartz. Oh. There's Shungite, but Shungite's only found in Russia. So. Yeah, but well, because usually if I can't actually like have it in the palm of my hand to actually feel it, yeah, that is definitely blue sapphire because this thing's heavy. It's heavy. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Hey, you need a good cleanse, mister. Oh, it got a little bit more vibrant. There. Okay, see it? Kinky. there's a bit of a more of a sheen on it. Okay, I'll be able to take a look once I'm not live, because it'll freeze and everybody will be like, what happened to you? Technical difficulties. But next part. Well, when you're using the stones, there's many ways. When it comes to Lilith, preferably she likes stones such as smoky quartz. Once I can find smoky quartz. Phenokite. Not really that one. Rhodochrosite's one. She really likes Topaz. She really likes that one. Because it's a really hard stone to get a hold of. She really likes that one. Okay, fine. And she also likes this. That is a garnet. That is a honker. In fact, this is actually her original. This one, Tugtupite. Tugtupite. It's only found in Greenland. And Tugtupite has one of these magical things about it. You apply heat to it, it turns pink. Like where it's clearish, add pressure and it'll turn pink. Behold. It wasn't that pink before. But you can't get it wet, because it'll be hissy fitting. Yeah, there's more pink right there. It wasn't that pink before. There's a piece of red jasper, even though it looks kind of orange. Yeah, that's a piece of red garnet. It is a honker. And that's another one of her stones that she likes, garnet. Also ruby. Sodalite. She's okay with amethyst, but she kind of likes, she likes stones that are like different, meaning that you don't see them a lot. I'm just getting all my pigeons in a row. Oh, okay. How long have we been live? Oh, 54 minutes, okay. And there's something else. I just had an loss, but it'll come back. It always comes back. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I need to do Capricorn's reading. But I really don't want to, cut this off. And, start this thing all over again. Because that's going to take too much time and whatever. So probably what I'm going to do is just film... crap. Yeah, I'll just film the I'll just do the Capricorn reading in this and then just put in the title like Capricorn readings in here at this time. I don't know how to make a timestamp though, so I'll figure it out, hopefully. And then we can kind of see what goes from there, but... Okay, let's see. Hand me the... I can do it. Let's see, we'll go with you. And, okay, fine. Looks like I'm going to be using a dark deck. Yep, I'm going to be using a dark deck. Doesn't matter what I'm saying, get out that one deck that scares people, okay? If you insist, I will fine use that deck. Ay. Then I need to have... Was that it? No, it wasn't. That one was a joke. Aha, found you. Okay. So the deck is going to be the Royal Tarot. And let me just give you an example about how, whoa, this artwork can be. See, let's pick out one that was really mortifying. We'll just show one card, kind of just to give you an idea what this deck's like. Let's see. Let me find one. Like this one, Queen of Swords. She's literally jabbing that sword in that monster's head. And I mean, yeah, this deck is something else, because look, there's the Hangman. It's something else, I can say that much. I see you out there. Piss it. You know, the longer you look, the more tempted I'm, more tempted to get it to stab you. Scram. I don't know why people in the place I'm at, like where I live, a little bit more cookity lately. Oh, wait. Okay, so I'll just put the timestamp for 100 minutes in for the Capricorn, so that way it'll be as point as possible. I'll just pin it at the top, I hope. Okay, so just like everybody else, just like with everybody else, one Dark Goddess Oracle, one Daemon Oracle, and then a 5-card pull from the Royal Tarot. But if I feel I gotta pull more, I will. Or just go with the flow with it. But of course, the Dark Goddess is first. So let's see what is up with Capricorn. And of course, intended for a Capricorn Sun. That's what it's intended for. Well, or a Capricorn Ascendant. Oh, Capricorn Lugna or Rising. But if you just have a Capricorn Sun, that's okay too. If you're cross-watching with somebody else, I understand completely for doing it, but please try your best to not do it, if you can avoid it. Rising, yep, that'll work. have our Dark Goddess picked out. Make up your mind, dude. Come on. No. Our Dark Goddess for you, Capricorn. And no. Seduction. The Daemon, though. Demus. That is pretty nerve-wracking. But I'll get to that in a moment. And now your 5-card pull from the Royalty Realm. This has got to be good. You may be like might be mortified by this deck, but that's the point of this deck. Looks like we might have a woman figure involved who brings you happiness, but doesn't really speak all the time. Even though it brings you happiness, she kind of leaves you, she might make you feel stuck and kind of exposed. I told you, this deck is something else, I'll tell you that much. First card, 9 of Cups. What? No, that doesn't say something. 10 of Wands. The Hermit. Yep, it's pretty mortifying when you get to like some of the cards that are just like, that's too much. Believe me. Seven of Cups. King of Wands. Uh-oh. Okay. So for the month of April from now till May 12th, you may have to be very... You might have to go about things in a way that's very... You pretty much have to really use your sense of imagination and creativity, even if it's to a point where you are gossiping about somebody. You may have to use your means of leaving somebody in the dark and confused, because that's seduction. You may have to go about it in a way that's a little bit swinging at the reputation of somebody else. In other words, if you're trying to get a position, or if you're trying to better yourself or grow in some way, somehow, you may have to maybe do it by means of getting involved in a scandal and ruining their reputation that way. But now here comes this part. So, you might be in a position where you're doing a lot of self-reflection and you're trying to be as transparent with yourself as you can. Because really, at the end of the day, you kind of feel lost. And sometimes you might even trying to think that, is this self-reflection really doing anything for me? Am I really gaining anything out of this by just looking at myself over and over again? But the thing is, in order for you to actually get past being way down, and having a lot on your shoulders and being over encumbered by it, you have to introspect and to get a wish fulfilled by a long for desire. Sometimes, in order for you to actually get to the position of power you need, you have to introspect and actually get to it with your full power behind it. And sometimes the way you got to go about it is by just outplaying and outmaneuvering somebody, or not really giving out the full picture. And really, that's the idea with doing occult workings anyway. Three more cards for Cappy for guidance and suggestions on how to go about this. And for whatever reason, if there's women involved, do not put them below you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me, don't do it. You'll be in deep doo if you do. That was another man has for it. He can fix it. One. Queen of Pentacles. What did I say about women? Don't make them be... Don't knock them down. Because if you take a look in the back, you actually see now she is free and he's still stuck in the sewer. There's the High Priestess again. Wow. Have a lot of women just pop up out of nowhere. Not in that suggestive way. Don't think like that. That's just not, no. Oh, it's the devil. Okay. So, also, by the way, that's Capricorn's card, technically. So, Capricorn. You may... But then again, a woman figure is somebody who's actually more in tune with their emotions and being able to provide. But in this case, you're going to have to really... Your best course of action is to actually kind of be like a devil's advocate to them, but in a way that's for their best interest involved. Because really, at the end of the day, instead of, like, say if you're interacting with a woman and she's encountering domestic violence, one of the best things you can do is actually step in, because the High Priestess is a card of a woman that's silent. And in this depiction of the Queen of Pentacles, there's a man behind her and she's free and he's now still stuck behind her. One of the things you may have to do is be the devil's advocate and tell her that she has to leave in order to do what's best for her. Because this situation actually might involve a tyrant. And he abuses women, which is a big no-no. Sees them as objects, which is another big no-no. And making them feel less than themselves, to the point where they doubt themselves, and then it overburdens them. So really, you really have a choice to make. To go down in the fire and fight it, or the other option, which is two cards came. Or you can give her the Empress and my card, Queen of Cups. Really. In other words, you have two choices. Go into the fire and pretty much leave her to suffer. That's your choice. Or option two, you give the Queen her throne back, the Empress, and also give the woman her true self back. Because in this depiction, I see Lilith. Perfectly. And if you had to ruin the guy's reputation in order to help this woman out, do it. Don't look at her. She wasn't the one she wasn't the one that was she wasn't the one doing all the, uncalled for things. So I think he needs a good, oh, tragic slip. Oh, you're just like what happened to Adam. But see, look at that. Now the Ten of Pentacles, we have a king figure, and he's kind of like looking right at you, and kind of like being in front of the woman, like trying to like intimidate. Yeah, don't hold yourself back and don't sit idle. Eight of Wands, become a little bit animalistic in pursuit. And you may have to give her guidance that she may not want to hear. But hey, she'll be the one on top of the rat. And she'll have pure emotions and love again. With clarity. Ace of Swords. Oh, so if a woman comes across that needs your help, give her a hand, because you'll be providing her so much. Look at that Eight of Cups. And also she'll be able to fly away and be able to have her wings back again. That was a weird way of putting it, but still. Don't let this happen to her. Don't let her be taken advantage of. But most definitely consult with a higher power in also accomplishing this, and plan in the shadows. Emperor, take charge and move swiftly. Knight of Wands. And really, that's what I got. That's what I got for you, Capricorn. So good luck with that endeavor, because you'll be able to have a great transformation with it. And you actually help this woman be able to be a Nine of Pentacles again. But that choice is up to you. So don't let her suffer anymore. Nine of Swords. Do what's right with justice. I'm not even looking at the cards, and that's what just popped up. Yeah. You have to come in Hong Kong Fui Tower. Do what you gotta do. Don't abandon her. Five Pentacles. Leave her out in the cold. Or out in the sewage. Go face first, Eight of Wands. That was an intense one. But yeah, this is how this deck is. Have a cloak and dagger at the ready. This deck is wild. And don't let her be sacrificed. Even fire a warning shot with the Knave of Wands, Page of Wands. Warning shot to him. And put a stop to it. So something better can come. That just flowed. Sometimes that's just how a reading has to go. So the wheel of fate turns. See what you do. But yeah, I mean, this deck can get pretty brutal, but still. Anyway, Capricorn, that's what I had for you. I'm going to put this back now. And that's pretty much the end of the reading. So if you came for just reading whoop-de-woo, you're free to go. And I probably might even end it here, but in a moment. That is. Oh, my back. Getting over this. There's something else I was going to mention. Oh, I'm pretty close to having, you know, about 4,000 bloody watch time finally. So it'd be a lot better now to actually have, you know, super chats enabled. Hopefully. And hopefully down below still, I hope to Lord Landa, there should be a link to that text line that I have, and pretty much at any time if anybody wants a private reading from me, you can use that down there. Or if you just want to throw money at me saying like, well, that was a good reading, well, okay, you can do that down below. And usually, if I can figure out a way how to actually have that be set up. Yeah, don't be like, I can't be lazy about it, but still. Once I can figure out how to have that be set up, I mean, I most definitely wouldn't mind just doing like something as small as $1 or just donating just something or just read. I think I might be doing that, but I mean, it all depends. Because I mean, I would absolutely love to actually do all this full time. Like, okay, go in live for about a few hours and throw whatever you deem fit besides 1 penny. Come on, be real here. And, yeah, provide a card throw, but still. See what else? There's one more. I just had it and I lost it. I'm trying to remember it. Hold on. I don't remember now. One of the things also you have to keep in mind, be careful who you get most of your, like what you're taking and learning from, because sometimes people don't know what they're talking about. Because, I mean, I hate to be a little bit of a negative Nancy, but for goodness sake. Most definitely, if you are not fully aware, back there she is. If you're not aware of how a certain goddess or diviness, don't speak about their or their character. Because, put simply, something that's underworld isn't infernal. Just because it's believed to be under doesn't mean that it's imprisoned. Because hell, she's neutral. She doesn't dwell in the thing of duality. Because she has dead people she has to attend to first, before anything else. And she's accepting, yes, but she's not nice. Because the thing is, she understands that, look, you're stupid, you need to understand why it's stupid and accept it, that it's stupid. Until you do that, you're not going anywhere. She's not nurturing. Because if you have anything for that matter, being able to tell you what you're doing is stupid, you need to stop it because you're an idiot and you're risking yourself. Your feelings need to get out of the way, and you need to do what's best for you. Because if you don't, well, alright then, idiot. Looks like you're going to suffer then. And that's how she goes towards someone. But she's accepting. Meaning that it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to deny it. She'll just sit there. Literally. She'll just sit there all. You done yet? Nope, still going to be, trying to accept this false reality. You're still going to accept it? Okay. Let me know when you're finished. Millennia later. You still doing it? Okay. Wow. Almost a new record. Still. Wow. She's the only one that had the patience to sit there and wait. And because she knows you have to go through it all. She's not infernal. And she's not a demon. She isn't. She's a divine. And divines, and I'm not including the left-handed divines that are most commonly known as demons. I'm not including them in this. Because divines such as... Here. Up again. Looks like hell wants to come out again. Divines such as hell. She has divine blood in her. She wasn't demonized. And funny enough, fun fact, Helheim, her realm of the dead, isn't all about being lit on fire. In fact, it's the polar opposite. Instead of you being, burnt alive, you freeze to death. But that's Niflheim. Helheim, her realm, is like a giant soup kitchen. And she feeds everybody, and she's always on the move and doesn't stop moving. Does not stop. And she has a limp. Meaning that on her dead side, it's like dead weight. And she's moving non-stop. She doesn't stop. She keeps going and going and going and going and going. She doesn't stop. Because she's doing her obligation that she vowed to do. The caretake to everyone that came to her and was sent to her. She's not infernal. In fact, she did, like I said earlier, as she would put it, you think I have time for that crap? No. I don't want to play your Dungeons and Dragons shit. I need to go take care of my people, please. Go away. Harsh. That is true. The only reason why she sides with her father is because she has to choose. If she could choose, she'd rather just be like, you know what? Dad, Odin, you two can beat the living heck out of each other. I want nothing to do with it. I'm going back home. Leave me alone. She wants nothing to do with Ragnarok. Because she values taking care of her people way more than fighting with the end of days. But because she has to choose and partake, she just chooses her father's side because she has to choose. It's true. She's point blank. But it takes a special kind of a love to do that. If she didn't care, she would be trying to deceive you and say like, no, everything's okay. She's straight up honest telling, hey, that stupid thing, will you quit it? Please? Now. That's how she is. She's not a sugarcoater. She isn't smothering in sweetness. She's just like, here's that stupid thing. Accept it. You done yet? Done? Good. Like, yeah, I'm not even kidding. And usually when people speak about her, I can't help but get over duper protective. Again. She's really making it no right now though. But here's another thing. When it comes to hell, she's not chaotic. In fact, she's probably nowhere near chaotic. In fact, she has a lot of order. Because she has the final say what happens with the dead. That being said, if a Valkyrie tries to take Jar up to Valhalla, she can just go, drop it, fairy. And they would have to drop it. She gets him. She can do that. Odin gave her that right. But a lot of people don't know that one. That's what happens when you give someone supreme rule of the dead without thinking. I'm not bashing on Allfather, but that's just what happens. Because she doesn't abuse it. And another thing too, while it's just still fresh in my head. And funny enough, I don't know that much about them either. It's just with Hell, well, I kind of didn't get a choice. But I can tell you one thing. She's probably one of, if not the most, committed to somebody. Like to actually stick by them. She's probably one of the most committed. But funny enough. Whoops. What's even more hysterical, what's up? Alright, fine. If I'm just telling you, yeah. If you, wait, hold on. Oh. If someone ever tells you to consume the death essence, she's Saturnian. She's very Saturnian. Very. But if somebody tells you to consume death essence, or, you know, use and pretty much be in the current of death, and they're saying it's empowering, well, I don't think you need to have common sense to figure out what I'm going to say next. You're stupid. Just because you think you're all woozy-wooey doing necromancy, ooh, you have got to understand there's a lot of things you have to take in precautions. Because there's some people that think, oh, death magic and death curses, oh, I do them like almost every month. You do them how many times? A few a month. A few death curses a month, huh? Clever. Because the thing is, when you do a legit death curse, they don't tell you this. In order for you to do a proper death curse, you have to be essentially going from a regular state, like, okay, whatever, to essentially this. completely void of emotion. Because you have emotion get into it, you messed up. And no, I did not just do one, but just showing how much of a void you have to be in. And it's heavy. And it's not something you should do unless if you have to do it for someone's safety or your safety. And don't offer it as a service. I hate to be a bursting bubbles, but don't. Don't offer that you're going to be offering to do a death curse on someone. Because now let's take this in the legal 3D realistic thing. If somebody pays you for that, congratulations. You can be seen as a hitman for hire. I hate to be like a devil's advocate, funny enough. You offer that, you're essentially having proof of being a hitman for hire. But it's going from that state of like awareness to void. Completely void of everything. Say nothing, feel nothing, just legit. That's how void you have to be. You can't have anything going on in your head, because the minute you have something distract you, you messed it up. It takes a lot of focus and a lot of fixating on something. You can't be distracted, because one little minor influence messes it all up. So it's best not to even do it anyway. And definitely don't offer it. Like if you're going to have someone pay you to do it. Because the thing is, all that somebody has to do is catch wind of it, be like a third party, or a receipt of it, goes right to the police. Probable cause of him being a hitman. Probable cause. That's how it is. Not trying to rain on parades, but this is the real world. If you're going to be doing something like that, use your head. If you don't use your head, well, whoops. Because in today's world, all the law says is this. It doesn't matter if you didn't know, you still did it. If you still did it, it doesn't matter if you knew it was illegal or not, you still did it. And you're expected to know what the laws are, depending on what state, country, or place of origin you're in. And you have to understand it. When you're at the legal age of adulthood, that's varying depending on the country and also sometimes state. You're expected to know it. If you don't know it, not good enough, not an excuse. Ignorance isn't bliss. That's the thing. I don't mean to be like all party pooper, but the thing is, that's how it is. And I hate to put it this way. Again, don't say that you offer death curses. Don't do it. Because as soon as someone pays for one, you're grounds to be a probable cause to be tried as a hitman for hire, which is a pretty hefty felony. And also, I mean, it can also be tied to, what's that called? It's showing it has potential to be, since it's also premeditated, because pretty much you're planning and strategizing it, pretty much premeditated almost attempted first degree murder. But if the individual dies and there's proof of it showing that there was a hitman, first degree murder. Even if there was nothing physical, that's still grounds of it showing that he had something to do with it. And that's one of the rare rare times that the occult and magic can be brought into the courtroom because of that. Because this shows someone paying to have someone be killed. And even though the person is not physically touching them, it's still an agreement between the two. They're both guilty. It's probable cause. And if something does happen to them, it's first degree murder. Even if there was nothing put onto them physically, it's still the act of it being agreed on, and we don't know if it's been carried out, but he died. So that's the only thing we can go off of. That's how they're gonna think. That is a very scary, but shockingly true, how a simple, small mistake like that can put you away as a first degree murderer. But I never touched him though. Probable cause. He died. Shortly thereafter, agreeing to do some kind of magical work that had him involved. And it was agreed to be a death curse. But I never touched him though. Doesn't matter. You're linked to it. That's the harsh reality. That's why something like that, you don't offer it. Point blank. And I don't like being a Debbie Downer, but when something's stupid, it's stupid. And I mean, I would just love you. And truth be told, fix that. If I was gonna be like fangirl or fanboyed at by the certain individual who did this, I like actually does have that up there. I mean, if anything, it's just like, you know, when I was your age, it's funny. I was not even doing anything you were doing. Heck, I was still reading and learning it all. Keep in mind, I've been practicing this for 11 years. Since 2010. I'm not new here. I'm not saying that to, like, boast myself. But a lot of trial and error and experiences. Yeah. This is something you don't mess around with. Something right there. Interesting. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, this is at 100. Wow. That's a long time. I'm going to call it here. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm going to get some sleep. Tomorrow, I'm not sure I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but I have a headache. And I'm going to go to sleep. And hopefully I won't be table flipping on my significant other. So thanks for putting up with me and my BS for 100 minutes. And I'll see y'all next one.